things, but pretty much it.
All right, welcome back, everybody. If you're already one of my subscribers, hey, welcome back, and hope you enjoy the show. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit like, make a comment, make it a nice comment,
please,
and enjoy the video. So today, I'm over here with my buddy Craig and his 85 Firebird. Now, you'll see by the title of this, it says the Ultimate Gen X Hot Rod, ? Okay? That doesn't mean that it's set in stone, that this is the ultimate Generation X hot rod. It's just an opinion, people. Okay? And I think the Firebird is a pretty good one as far as examples go. Now, for Gen X, we're just going to stick with our generation pretty much and what we had available to us. So Gen X is 65 to 80, and we all turned 16, 81 to 96. So, like our boomer parents and people before us, you know, they had the really good high power muscle cars. You know, we all know that in 1970, that was like the peak year for horsepower. And we always saw our boomer parents and uncles and friends driving around Chevelles and
69 Camaro RSSS and Mustangs and, you know.
Mustangs, Cudas, you know, just all the cool stuff from back in the day. So when it was our turn, we got some pretty cool stuff. Unfortunately, the oil embargo had hit. Everything had been smogged into, I can barely breathe. And so there wasn't a whole lot for horsepower for us. But us Gen X kids, we were built a little different. And we learned from a young age when we started outgrowing our BMX bikes and so forth. So horsepower was down. But we were the kids that once we kind of outgrew our BMXs and went on to Honda three-wheelers and dirt bikes and things with no warning labels or anybody to tell us, hey, don't do that. And we always...
No tether switches. None of that.
Right.
We had on and off.
Yeah, and go and not go.
Right.
or in some people's case, go and sudden stop.
Sure. There was a lot of sudden stops.
Some of us have the scars and the titanium joints to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
But we learned how to fix our stuff and work on our stuff and improve our stuff. So when these came out, this generation came out in 82. And of course, there wasn't a whole lot of us 16, 17-year-olds when these came out that could afford to buy this or the Z28 or IROC Z. You
right.
know. There was always the random rich kid that parents would buy him anything, you know, right. And you'd see him rolling around. And it usually took a few years before they come into a price range that we could afford. So a lot of us Gen Xers, like Craig and I, you know, we started out with 70 stuff. You know, we both had the same 78 Trans Am. My first car was a 79 Monza station wagon with a V6 and a 4-speed. You know, they always say if you could get one car back, I want them all back, including that one. My second car was a 79 Ford Mustang. It was the first year for the Fox body. And before we go any further with the Mustang thing, let me get it out. Yes, I'm not a fan of the Mustangs. I had my 79. And of course, with the first year, anything, they are going to have problems. And yes, this one had 72,000 miles on it and 72,000 problems. And it kind of soured me on the whole Mustang thing. And that's not just the Fox bodies, that's the ones before it and the ones that came after. I'm just not a fan. Okay? But that's my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. It's just my opinion.
That's right.
It doesn't mean you have to come into my comment section and threaten to burn my house down. You know, find me, kick my ass, burn my house down. It doesn't mean you have to report my channel for hate speech and try to get my channel taken down. Okay? Like some people.
No names mentioned.
This is just an opinion. We're just throwing some stuff out there. Just having a little fun, okay? So, back to it. We had, like I say, the 3rd gen F bodies. We had the Mustang Fox bodies. You know, of course, F body was Firebird and Camaro. The GM G bodies. We had the Monte Carlo, the Regal, the Cutlass. God, I know I'm leaving one out. Oh, Grand Prix. Pontiac Grand Prix. So, and the G bodies made awesome hot rods. I had an 81 Cutlass that had almost the exact same engine that Craig has in here, which is a 383. You know, it's a 350 board and stroke, a 383. Aluminum intake, aluminum heads, headers, 650 Edelbrock, and T-tops. My Cutlass had T-tops,
Yep.
both T-tops. And it was a bitchin' car, and it was a lot of fun to drive. Boy, did it like to eat transmissions.
And tires.
And tires, especially tires. And fuel. Drank fuel like it was a alcoholic with a bad problem.
You didn't get miles per gallon, you get smiles per gallon.
Yeah.
So it makes a difference.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So, like I say, you know, this for me personally, I'm more of a Pontiac guy. So I gravitate more towards Firebirds, Trans Ams.
Right.
And so I do love the G bodies too. Which brings me to this point, which is, you know, like if let's say your car was parked here and there was that deep maroon burgundy colored Buick Regal T-type like Derek on Vice Grip Garage has. If you were to stand here and say, okay, you have to choose one, but you can only have one, my brain would probably short circuit and I would probably fall down and die before I got to pick either one because I wouldn't be able to choose. Okay? So whether this is the ultimate Gen X hot rod or not, that's it's opinion. It is what it is. I think it's pretty good candidate. So getting on with that, the 3rd gen Firebird was a little bit different, obviously, than the 2nd gen. These lines are a little bit more sharper. The suspensions are a little bit different. The rear end in this it's got that torque arm that goes to the differential. It's coil spring instead of leaf spring like the Trans Am was. And of course, you can get 4-link now for this one. You can get 4-link for the older style.
Right. And these were lighter than the 2nd gen.
These were considerably lighter. Yeah, right. 500 pounds just out of the box. Now, when you see the front end of Craig's car, you'll see that this is not the 85 nose. Okay. In 85, they came out with a updated nose. And maybe I'll dig up a picture of one of them and throw it on here as an example. And the coefficient drag on these was like almost non-existent.
Right.
I mean, it brought the coefficient drag down to nothing. And it was like a knife going through the airstream. These things are just, they are smooth, they are slick. and they are a lot of fun to drive and a lot of fun to ride. Okay. Here's where the editing comes in, because now I'm having a brain fart. I've been going through this in my head all day, trying to keep this on what I wanted to say.
Well, these normally come out with like the 305.
Right. So yeah, these would come out with a 305, like Craig said, or the 2.8 V6
Right.
with 5-speed. Now they weren't huge on power, but man, they are a blast to drive with that little V6. But like most of us, we get tired of the anemic 305 or the V6, and oh, well, it's time to throw something over.
I got this sitting in the garage. Well, let's put that in there and see how that goes.
Let's put some big pistons, some aluminum, and
some wider tires.
And then let's make this thing an actual hot rod, which is what Craig's car is. You know, you can't say it's not. We'll get you under the hood and show you what's under here and what it's all about and why we think it's a true hot rod. Now, in the 80s and the early 90s, there wasn't a whole lot of other choices out there other than the F body, the G body, or the Fox body Mustang.
Right.
You know, the Chrysler guys, they were kind of SOL in the 80s. You know, they had the Shelby Daytonas and the Daytonas.
The front wheel drive.
Front wheel drive, 4-cylinder,
5-speed.
Yeah, I mean, it was like driving a go-kart. It could be kind of fun, you know.
It was fun doing backward shitties with them, but
right. You know, they could be fun little cars, but they weren't a hot rod. They weren't a muscle car.
No.
So a lot of guys, you know, the Chrysler guys, they'd still be driving those 70s cars mostly. You know, I had a buddy that had a Cordoba, and it was a really nice Cordoba. And the only reason it was really nice is because he put his own engine in it and did most of the work himself. Because, sorry, Chrysler guys, but those Cordobas, they weren't the greatest. They looked good.
Nice to ride in.
Yeah.
I mean, the interiors in them were plush and everything else.
Yeah, but they weren't exactly high on the horsepower list and weren't real high on the reliability list from at least my experience and my buddy's experience.
Right.
So, you know, you had that, and there were the few guys that were into Japanese cars too.
Yeah.
You know, the Celica GT, Celica Supra, those were rear wheel drive cars.
The 240Z, the 260Z, the 280.
Right.
You know, and those were fun little cars.
They are absolutely fun little cars, and there was a lot of us Gen Xers that had them.
Right.
They were reliable, they were cheap, they were fun. I don't know if I'd call it a hot rod or a muscle car, but they were a lot of fun to drive.
Right. A little sports car.
Oh yeah, definitely more of a sports car than a muscle car. Or hot rod. Whatever you want to call it. Just opinions here, people. Opinions. So, we're going to get on with showing you a little bit of Craig's car. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen their Gen Firebirds and know what they're all about. But we're going to take you through it anyway. We're going to show you what Craig's got in his. And we're going to take you for a little ride and just show you what it's like to ride in this thing. Because other than just the big motor, big powerful motor in here, it does have a good transmission too.
Yeah.
Even though it is an automagical.
That word. Automagical. Okay.
It is still good. It's got the shift kit in it. You know, like my 90 Sierra, I've got 700 R4 that I had built.
Right.
Put a lot of money having that built. And when it shifts, it snaps your neck just the way this one does.
Yeah.
And we're going to show you that. We'll take you for a little ride and let you see some of the beautiful Wisconsin countryside as well. But I would like to hear your guys' opinions. You know, what's your ultimate hot rod if you're a Gen Xer? What do you prefer? Are you a Cutlass guy? Are you a Regal guy? Are you a Z28 guy? You know, are you a Fox body guy? No, I like Thunderbirds. Thunderbird was the other rear-wheel drive option that Ford had.
Right.
That could be converted into a hot rod or a muscle car if you.
And it was like a gentleman's hot rod too, you know.
Yeah, it was a bit more classy. And I like I said, I don't hate Fords. I don't hate Mustangs. Well, I may have lied there, but just don't come into my comment section being a douche. It's just my opinion. It doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean I'm wrong. It's just my opinion. If you're a Mustang guy, hey, more power to you.
Hopefully you're first on race day.
Fast only rolling downhill?
Fun on reservation dump.
You know what Ford is backwards.
Uh,
Driver returns on foot.
there's another definition, but we'll let that one slide.
You know what a lifetime warranty is for Ford parts, right?
550?
90 days.
That's it? I thought it was like 550, 5 minutes or 50 feet. I was wrong.
All right, we're done giving you Ford boys crap. We'll get on with the show now. All right, we're going to take you in and show you what he's got under the hood here, and just a little look at the car itself, and then we'll take you for a ride.
And then you see the sign on the garage walls.
All right, so we're going to show you under the hood here. First, we'll show you, this is what we were talking about with the nose. The nose is a little bit different than what an actual 85's nose is.
It's on there when I got it.
Right. There's some upgrades you want to do to it, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, these are a never-ending project. Just when you think you're done, there's something else you want to change.
Another dent you got to take out.
Yep. And now I know one guy commented on the short that I did for this that, oh, this, Knight Rider ruined this body for me. And I get that. They definitely dorked that car up.
Right.
That car was a dorky looking pile of crap. And I
hated the wheels on it, with the...
Yeah, oh God, they were just like god awful. But that car is not
This car.
that car, okay? So, under the hood, Craig, what are we looking at here?
3-3 stroker. Aluminum intake, aluminum heads.
Edelbrock 650.
Yeah. Needs a little work, but she runs good.
Lots of chrome. Nice full-length headers. That chrome gets you home,
That's right. Bling all the way.
Yep. And I love this is pretty good with these American racing rims and these tires. I love the white letter look. That's our generation.
Yeah.
That's,
It's a clean, but it's a classy look with the white letters.
Yeah, I mean, I know these new school guys, they like to keep the white letters in and they don't like the white lettering, but I'm a fan of it myself. I think it looks pretty darn special. But that is a sharp looking setup the way it is. It's not too high in the back like some of those jacked up 70s cars were.
Right.
It's got a great stance to it. And of course, T-tops like most of these had. And the only drawback of the T-tops,
I think that says a lot.
the only drawback of the T-tops is crash protection. Other than that, I love the T-tops. But yeah, definitely not something you want to roll over in because there's not a whole lot there to protect you.
I know, roll bar's next.
Yeah, a good roll bar. Because I actually prefer the T-top cars.
Right.
I really do. But they need a roll bar, and unfortunately with the roll bar, you're going to have the bar here.
Yeah.
Which you just can't avoid.
Unless you come up and do it where it's got the 2 bars in the center, but still you're going to want some support.
You're still going to want something on the side, yeah. Even if it's removable. So, yeah, there you have it. You know, typical giant backseat of an F-body. Not really made for grown humans, but...
Two small kids with their knees up to their shins.
At it again, huh?
Attempting.
Yeah, so there you have it. The F-body. The Firebird variant. Now, I get that these are pretty much exactly the same as the Camaro, but Pontiac did do some things a little bit differently. They were the excitement brand. I mean, that is just... You want to shut the hood, Craig?
Yeah.
All right, now you take a look at that car and tell me that is not a sexy ride. For us Gen Xers in our era, the hot rods that we had, I'd say this may be the ultimate. Like I say, this and the Buick Regal for me, pretty much the ultimate.
Gentleman's hot rod.
But those are my opinions, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Even the Mustang guys, they're entitled to their opinion. You know, I mean, we both know that they're wrong and Mustangs are garbage. Oh, playing with you guys. It's all in good fun. All right, time to go for a ride. And in the meantime, you guys keep it between the ditches, all right? Don't forget to like, subscribe, make a nice comment. Have a great day, everybody. And one of the things this car does have, as well as a nice 383 stroker, is an automagical, but it's got a good shift kit.